guests, graduating seniors, parents, and friends. It is a real pleasure that I introduce this afternoon's speaker. He has been paid a great compliment by these graduating seniors and that they chose him to be their speaker today. Raised in Great Falls, I believe that's in Montana, and graduating from Great Falls High in 1973, he received a BA degree in English from the University of Montana in 1979. He began his teaching career, spent 5 years in Stevensville. He is just completing his second year at Sentinel High School. While at Sentinel, besides teaching English, he's also been coaching football, which he also coached at Sentinel during his years at the University of Montana. Ladies and gentlemen, graduates, you please welcome Mr. Dan Siegman.
Microphone to move around a bit because my feet haven't been to walk away from me a little bit. Mr. Carter, can you hear me all right over there? Put your hand up. Okay. We're in good shape. First off, I'd like to speak for the graduates just for a second and welcome you all here. Ms. Wagner, other board members, Mr. Zinni, and other administrators in the building. And especially to the VIPs that are in here. And the definition of a VIP, for the purpose of this talk, is going to be parents, friends, and families of the class of 94. And I'm going to send a welcome along to you. And I'm also going to send a greeting along to the class of 1994. And we'll start this little talk off with a little apology. The apology is, I have a limit of how many people I can talk to at one time. And that limit turns out to be about 270 people. Now there are 268 folks sitting down here wearing purple. So the rest of you, please don't take this the wrong way, but I'm not going to talk to you for the next few minutes. I'm going to talk to folks down here. But before I do that, I do want to admit that, in fact, yes, I am an English teacher, and I know how some of you folks feel about English and felt about English when you were students. A friend of mine down in Stevensville introduced me to his wife when I first got down there. She said, "You're an English teacher?" I hated English. I said, "Well, geez, why do you hate English?" She said, "I never knew what was going on." I said, "Well, geez, what do you mean?" She said, "I spent my whole senior year, and I was reading these books, and they talked about whales and volcanoes and flying horses and ghosts, and it turned out the whole year they've been talking about sex, and I didn't know it." She hated English. And a lot of people do too. Now, when I was asked by the graduates to talk to you, I was thrilled beyond measure. In fact, I was speechless for the only time in the last 35 or so years, I guess. And I told them, "Please come back tomorrow and ask me again," which they did. And I thanked them for that. There was a problem that followed along right away, though, and that was what we're going to talk about. Because I didn't have a clue. No. So I went and talked to some people that I respected, and I asked them, I said, "Well, what shall I talk about?" And I asked Mr. Zinni, and I asked Mr. Chamberlain, I asked Ms. Melvin, I asked Mr. Stearns, and I asked Mr. Carter and Ms. Gruba and Mr. Holmquist. And they said, "Look, it's not a problem. Just tell them the secret of happy life." And I said, "Well, that probably is not a problem, except I probably don't know what it is." They said, "Yeah, you think about it a little bit, because you, in fact, you know." So theoretically, I know the secret of a happy life, and I'm going to tell you. But it escaped me just for a second here, so instead, I'm going to tell you about the value of a clean face, which I do know about. I'll tell you about that. Something doesn't seem right here. I have had many of these students in my classroom. Something just doesn't seem right. Excuse me for just a second. Is that better? Okay, I feel better too. The value of a clean face and how it relates to the secret of life. This is your one chance. Should I leave this hat on or not? Okay. It's wet. I was out in the rain a minute ago. Anyway, before I tell you the secret of life, I want to tell you this little story. There was a 49-year-old woman who lived in a big town, big city. She was a hairdresser. She worked until 10 o'clock at night, taking care of her customers. And in her big city there, she got home on a subway. And the subway was dangerous. And so in the summertime, she didn't ride the subway. She walked the streets. So one night, at about 11 o'clock, whenever she shut down her shop, she's walking down the streets. And in the bushes next to the sidewalk is a skinny, little, nervous 15-year-old kid. Probably wearing a hat just like I'm wearing. And as she walked by, that skinny little kid ran out of the bushes and grabbed her big old shoulder purse with the intention of grabbing it and running down the street. But this little 49-year-old woman was a powerful woman, and despite her fatigue, she was tough. And she got a grip on that purse strap. And as that skinny little 16, 15-year-old ran down the street, she put the brakes on, his feet went out from under him, and he slammed down on his back. And she took 2 quick steps up and kicked him right in the butt. Bang! Kicked him again. Bang! Just like that. And he was off balance and he didn't know what to do. And she reached down and grabbed him by his shirt front, picked him up, shook him. And then she put her finger right in his face and said, "Your face is dirty." And then she grabbed him by the wrist, and her grip was like a vice. He couldn't go anywhere. She said, "If I let you go, will you run?" He said, "Yes, I will." She said, "I'm not letting you go." And she turned and continued to walk down the street. And here the kid went. He was going whether he wanted to go or not. And there he went. Pretty soon she stopped and she turned nose to nose with him again. And she said, "Don't you have anybody home to tell you to clean your face?" He said, "No, I don't." And she started to walk down the street again. Didn't ask him again about his home. She took him to an apartment complex and went up the steps of the apartment complex and hauled him in. And it was where she lived. And she went in there and she turned him loose, but she stood between him and the door for a second. She set her purse down right by the door. She said, "Go over there, there's a sink, wash your face." And he went over and washed his face a little bit, but apparently he hadn't had much practice. He wasn't very good at it. So she came up and grabbed that washcloth and she scrubbed his face for him. And he turned out to be pretty clean. He didn't like it very much, but he'd had a little experience with her grip. He wasn't going to fight her. And she said, "Have you had your dinner?" He said, "No, ma'am, I have not." She said, "Well, stand right there. I'm going to make you some dinner." And so she did. She turned her back on him. She went into the little kitchen, which was attached to the room they were in. She started to make dinner, and he took a peek at that purse, and a peek at that door. Then he took a couple steps towards her in the kitchen and just give her the signal that he wasn't going anywhere. And she fed him. She said, "You know, if you're my kid, I teach you a few things. What the heck do you grab my purse for anyway?" He said, "You know, I need to buy some shoes." She said, "Look at your feet. You got shoes on your feet. You don't need shoes." He said, "Well, I wanted to buy some suede shoes like I saw in the magazine." She said, "And for that, you're going to steal a stranger's purse?" He said, "I didn't know how to get the money." She said, "There's lots of ways to get the money." And she told him to tell him. And finally, when she was done telling him, she gave him some money. Probably wasn't enough to buy those shoes. But she said, "Don't you ever do anything like that again." She hadn't called the police. She hadn't called home. And she sent him on his way and never saw him again. Which brings us back to the fact that I haven't told you the secret of life yet. And I haven't even told you that much about the value of a clean face. The secret of life is a two-part secret. And here are the 2 parts. Number 1, the world is not a perfect place. Number 2, you have to live it. So is there value in the secret? I don't know if you saw the little program. I'm supposed to talk about value today. Because that's what I said I was going to talk about. Is what I'm supposed to talk about that. Is there value in that secret? Well, let me tell you this. Graduates of 94, there's this much value in that secret. you are guaranteed a lifetime of purpose. Guaranteed. Lifetime. Now check this out. Here's the world today. Let me just tell you for a second. There's AIDS, cancer, unwanted children on every continent. Rwanda is sending in a river to Uganda dead bodies. In China, there are forced labor camps. There are worldwide depleted resources, overpopulation, environmental strife, and decreased freedoms. There are drugs and gangs that prey on children in every major city in the world. Bosnia is in flames. Soviet disintegration has left lots and lots of folks with atomic weapons, and nobody can tell them no. That's the world right now. There's not very many clean faces in that lineup. Your work is cut out for you to clean through those faces. Now, what's Sentinel's role been in this? You folks have spent more time here than I have. But while I've been here, I've learned a couple of things. Sentinel is a place that's filled with teachers and administrators who have won national awards for their excellence and have, in a lot of cases, taken that award they won and turned around and given it right back to school. Teachers and administrators there promote a safe society made up of young people who are productive and fair-minded. Sentinel's made up of teachers and administrators who give thousands of hours to help people like you succeed. Sentinel's made up of teachers and administrators who promote culture, international problem solving, and international exchange with other schools around the globe. But how about that depressing stuff I talked about there? Is there value there? That's a tough one, I don't know. With value, I want to tell you though, go some dangers. There's some dangers. When you name some values, there's some dangers. One of those dangers is not understanding what it is you think you're talking about. This is a very common characteristic of children, by the way. They don't understand what it is they're talking about, and therefore they don't appreciate the effort that people go through to get where they are. I want to tell you just a little story about that, just to kind of tell you what I'm talking about. You need to understand the circumstances before you make your comments, before you make your decisions. There was a little boy who went to the hospital to visit his mother and his brand new baby. It was a heck of a deal. He was fascinated for about 10 minutes. And then he got bored. He started to wander the halls. And he saw another woman, another patient in the hospital. He walked in and figured he'd talk to her. Turns out she'd been there for several weeks, had a major operation. And so he said to her, "Hey, how long have you been here?" She said, "Honey, I've been here for several weeks." So, "Yeah, let's see your baby." The woman said, "Well, I had a back operation. I don't have a baby." Said, "You've been here for several weeks. I want to see your baby." She said, "I don't have a baby." Said, "Geez, you're slow. My mom's only been here overnight. She's got one already." You need to understand the problem before you make your mind up on it. And the second thing is, when you start to discover value in your life, you have to understand that sometimes valuable things aren't. Valuable things aren't, sometimes. So you need to be aware of that too. I'm going to tell you a story about how to know when valuable things aren't. A businessman on a hot summer day is walking down the road, and he sees up ahead of him, there's a lemonade stand. He was thirsty. This is a pretty good deal. It's a lemonade stand. And as he gets closer, he sees there's two different pitchers of lemonade, and they've got two different prices. One of them is 25 cents a glass. Figures that's a pretty good deal. He goes to the other one, it's only a nickel a glass. He goes up, takes a close look. They both look the same. The two little boys who are running the lemonade stand don't seem a bit worried about it. They don't care if the prices are different. So he orders up a 5-cent glass and drinks it down. It was delicious. It was great. They don't take none. They give him another 5-cent glass. He drinks that one down. It's great too. He says, "You know, fellas, I want to tell you something. I'm a businessman, and I want to tell you, you're going to have trouble making any money selling 5-cent lemonade that's delicious right next to 25-cent lemonade." The little boy said, "Well, you might be right, but we figured it was best to try and get rid of that stuff before news got out that the cat peed in it." There are some dangers when there's values being talked about. Now, it turns out, we're talking about clean faces. I want to tell you about a little happy coincidence in the world, because we're really not talking about clean faces. Remember, I'm an English teacher. Whatever we're talking about, we're really not talking about. No, that's not it. We're talking about clean faces. We're talking about making the world a better place. But the world is a big, big place. What I wanted to do today is get 278 little hand mirrors and just tape them to the bottom of those chairs. There aren't any others, so don't be offended or anything. And I was going to have everybody get out those hand mirrors and say, there's a tool right there that can help guide you on how to improve the world. When you want to know how to improve the world, get out and use your little hand mirror, and when you look in there, it'll tell you what to work on to improve the world. Now, it turns out you can improve the world. You can do it. And here's why it's a happy coincidence. When you take care to clean your face, when you take care to maximize your value, when you take care to make the world a better place, you know what? It's a better place for everybody. You don't have to care about that person who's next to you, that person in the other country, that person in the other town. You don't have to care about them. But when you take care of your face, when you take care of your valuable things, the world automatically gets better for them. And the doubly happy coincidence is when they take care of their face, your world gets better for you. Now that's a happy coincidence. There's going to be one other little thing I'm going to tell you about here. And then if you can make any sense at all from what I've said, you pass. The last thing I want to say is there's tremendous value in that little hand mirror because it represents selfishness. Selfishness is you and what you can best benefit from. At some point you've got to make that decision. When you make that decision, that selfish decision, the world's going to be better for all of us. Have fun with those hand mirrors, folks. Have fun in your future. Congratulations to you, the class of 1994.
It is with honor that at this time I introduce to you the valedictorians of the class of 1994. These students have accomplished much. They all maintained a 4.00 grade point average during their 4 years in high school. Many of them maintained this grade point average while participating in many extracurricular events. Many participated in band, choir, orchestra, drama, and also including many athletic activities. Not only did they participate at school, they have participated in the community. At this time, I would like them to stand as their name is read and to remain standing until everyone is introduced. Jacob Valia. Elizabeth Brunel. Michelle Klopp. Benjamin Heiner. Deborah Keelan. Lauren Minto. Scott Steinberg. Thomas Wentz. We would like to thank them for their excellent record and also congratulate them and wish them well in their future endeavors. The valedictorian, 1994. This time, it's a great pleasure. I'd like to introduce one of the platform guests that is not in your program. This time, a lot of honor in having the superintendent of schools, Missoula County High School, on the platform. is Mrs. Mary Wagner. Would you please welcome Mary? Now comes the time you guys have been waiting for. Right? By the authority vested in me as principal of Sentinel High School, it is my pleasure to present to the Board of Trustees, Missoula County High School, the class of 1994 as having met all district and state requirements for graduation. Presenting the diplomas will be board members, Ms. Pamela Shore and Dr. Maureen Bruneau. Calling the class roll is Sentinel High School Career and Scholarship Counselor, Mr. Dean Yule.
Hi. Congratulations to all of you. First person today, Jason C. Allen. Princess Dawn Allen. Trenton L. Karowitz. Michael D. Anderson. Steve M. Anderson. Tina and Korskoff. Melissa Aaron. Joseph Stephen Armstrong. Vanessa Therese Atrakshi. Chris L. Bacon. Jacob Wade Valiette. Justin Barba. Brian Mark Bart. Selena E. Battenfield. Robert Adam Baylor. Brittany C. Beaulieu. Danielle Elise Beaulieu. Melissa John Beaulieu. Michael James Deal. Scott Christopher Blackman. Christopher Stephen Lutsky. Sheila K. Ball. And Andre Charles Bouchard. Robert B. Braun. Brad S. Breeden. Marcy B. Russell. James W. Brown. Jeremy D. Brown. Linda Marie Denise Brown. Kathy Ann Bruce. Elizabeth Marie Brunel. Charlene Spring Buckman. Matthew Lynn Burmester. Craig L. Butler. Rebecca Lynn Buxton. Zachary Allen Byler. Aaron Carlson. Ryan James Carney. Samara Lee Carter. Edward Don Cornelius. Kimberly L. Cox. Ellen 16 Coyne. Teresa L. Chris. Julia Amber Dawn Croker. Vanessa H. Bailey. Nicole C. Dane. Casey Lynn Day. Brenda Louise DeGarmo. John Edwin DeLacy. Carla Del Dennis. Erin Kathleen Doherty. Trevor James Donahue. Ryan Shay Donnelly. Patrick Michael Duncan. Eric J. Ellington. Autumn Faith Emerson. Nicholas C. Emery. Benjamin Harrison. Sarah J. Field. Michael John Firebaugh. Jean Marie Plato. Ryan Dale Fortinger. Michelle Renee Fox. Kimberly Ann Fry. David Robert Buntingland. Jennifer Deanne Yates. John Thomas George. Travis J. Manchetta. Michelle Suzanne Dooley. Christine Michelle Granatello. Chris Donald Green. Lacey Lee Griffith. Tanya D. Grover. Kerrigan Lynn Gutschel. Jennifer Gustafson. David Wendell Guthrie. Kimberly Rose Alstead. Yvonne Michelle Hammond. Jason Hansen. Erica Helen Hansen. Courtney Ann Harden. Josh L. Harris. Sarah H. Hartman. Benjamin Heiner. Miles Allen Evelyn. Christopher J. Henderson. Kay Maureen Henches. Jasper James Hyatt. Kevin Lewis Higginbotham. Andrew Douglas Hill. Tracy Lynette Horton. Diana Ray Hunt. Danielle Ray Imagliato. Don Roberta Irvine. Michael Paul John. Jennifer Rebecca Johnson. Brad J. Johnson. Lee M. Johnson. Kimberly Lynn Johnston. Billy George Joseph. Scotty D. King. Deborah Diana Stewart. Melissa Ann Ketchum. Charlotte N. Timmery. Matthew Bruce Timmery. Jamie L. Cook. On this side, Corey Lynn Paprika. And our second class starts out with Frank John Fuller. Jonathan E. Crowder. Aaron Michael Lambert. Jeff Paul LaRue. Joshua Mark Laszlo. Amy E. Latour. Jeffrey James Leininger. Lauren Russell Lighting. Sarah M. Lower. Terry Ray Long. John Charles Dennis. Justin Robert Spencer. Mary Elizabeth Martin. Alicia E. Rapini. Christopher William McEnany. Michael E. W. McGovern. James R. McKinney. William Willis McMahon. Mark S. McPherson. Marcus Whitney Neal. John Andrew Miller. Lauren Elizabeth Mitchell. Jennifer Ann Moe. Melissa Marie Morris. Clifton Moreland. Molly Lee Morris. Brandon G. Moore. Ron Leah Nichols. Michael Nicole Neal. Tom Patrick Nordstrom. Megan L. Austin. Casey Michael O'Keefe. Christopher Neal Austin. Gerald A. Kendall. Jonelle Marie Coleman. Brian Marini. Anna Rebecca Parker. Roy David Patrick. Julie Ann Peterson. Roger E. Peterson. Dennis Nutsman. Eric B. People. Angeline Colette Collins. Robert Louis Preston. Amy Christine Schreiber. Kenny Sonny. Thomas E. Randall. Jill Suzanne Rasmussen. Tyler Mark Lee. Eric A. Green. J. T. Reynolds. John R. Reynolds. Travis Romeo. Zachary Joseph Rudolph. Charity Renee Perez. Joseph Bryant. Gregory John Salisbury. Devin Jagg. Jessica G. Levy. Serena Renee Freckenbeck. Jason Paul Schuyler. Kathy James Morris. Kevin G. Scott. Kurt G. Scott. Shaquana Lynn Cyril. Rachel Elizabeth Simmons. Andrew E. Sheriff. Stacia Marie Schultz. Paul Jeffrey Skalski. Alice Ann Smith. Nancy K. Smithson. Jason Michael Serini. Jason Earl Spade. Sylvia Mariah Sully. Michael Steinberg. Ryan Stephen Steinberg. J. Scott. Megan Marguerite Stromness. Michelle Marie Trubeck. Corey Michael Sullivan. Michael Emil Sweeney. Conlon Elizabeth Swindell. Rachel K. Taylor. Craig Allen Keegan. Shane Foxay Powell. Brian Joseph Thoreau. Sheila Irene Cassell. Jacob James Sargerson. Lucas James Thompson. Michael John Thompson. Jeffrey Wayne Van Dam. Brenda L. Sentinel. Emily C. Walton. Peter Paul Ward. Matt W. Weatherman. Thomas Bradley Witt. Eric Stephen Westrom. Brock Allen Blake. Evan Michael Williams. Tyler Matthew Williams. Scott R. Will. Christina Ann Winder. Angela Reed Wing. Sydney L. Wise. Jessica A. Rockland. Kate Wolferman. Bryce Allen Descent. Donna G. Yelton. Marty Pine York. Derek Ann Vaughn. Elizabeth Ann Stigler. Amy Jo Stinney. And your senior class president, Jennifer Nicole McAfee.
Okay. At the time of here, I'm sure that many of us as well as parents have been feeling our children have provided. I'd like to congratulate you, class of 1974, on many accomplishments. I'm sure I speak for all of you when I thank the teachers and our parents for all their support and encouragement over the past 4 years. As the future leads each of you down into the path, I have some advice for you you. Congratulations, class of 91. Thanks for all the work and effort. Everyone stand for your captain flag.
And the graduates will meet you outside. Mr. Erickson.